But Captain, let's move on to national issues.
Good.
Last week I was trying to explain, say, the two political parties that we've had in Ghana for the past 30 plus years now, they only know how to win elections and not how to run a nation. I see what you're saying. Captain, Nyemfa, education first. Many people make noise, say, they've been able to build infrastructure to boost education. Look at you say, you see schools and all of those things. But, Omore, if you say, education, learning goes with play. And it is learn hard, you play hard. And it's imperative. And say, will be better, will say, if you are building a modern day school today in 2023, you have to make sure, say, there's provision for leisure. Yes, you do an hour or two in the classroom, you should have break to be able to go and refresh yourself, rejuvenate, and then you go back to study. But because of the archaic and cluelessness, no, almost see school dying, no, there's no place for play. There's no allocation for leisure, not playground, and that's a BBR. And they expect to say the kids will stay in school, on some 30 minutes break, just go and stand outside and then have a chat and then you come back. How are you surprised, say, our children are not able to learn or to become more efficient in education? But you see, their concept of education, they say, you see school dying, that's all they know about education. Now, so I'll show you the architecture of the classrooms, it's as if it's a cage. And let's also Finland, those Scandinavian countries, they are, and Japan especially, yes, they are building wall-less classrooms. They are bringing the classrooms out into the open so children can have a more natural feel and learn better. But way more, I don't know how they get their ideas from. I mean, even to build, copy and paste, how difficult can that be? But social school down here, huge buildings, all block and mortar. Now when they burglar proof, so I go and windows. No, as a prison cage. And how do you want the children to be able to function and to express themselves in such a confined setting? Captain Yanko, healthcare. I said this last week, sir. Healthcare is not just building the hospital and putting the workers in there to work. No, that's not how a hospital is built. But the ambience, the surrounding environment is supposed to aid in helping people to recover. And so you would have expected, say, today in 2003, say, could see hospitals are. You should have hospitals that will have gardens. And so if people are recuperating, they are recovering, they can come out during the day, enjoy nature, the wildlife a little, and then all that boosts in healthcare. But their concept of healthcare, they say, we see hospital, or the beds, you were saying, you go to hospital today, we tell you there's no bed. I just say, bribes. Captain, this is more than enough evidence to prove that those who are managing the country have no clue. But to wrap up on the health sector, I would have expected, say, if for nothing at all, the government or the government officials should have a hospital that is fit for service. But how is it that, say, I buy someone who is working in government and any of our politicians, say, he's supposed to be rushed from Ghana to fly to either the UK, Canada, or Dubai for healthcare. It beats my mind, Captain. And see, if you don't do it for the citizens, for yourself, because unya emergency. Now, if you are airport residential, now airport hills, it will take you about 5 or 10 minutes to get to the airport. Now, to be prepped to take the flight from here to UK is at least 4 hours. If it's an emergency, it means you are dead in the plane. It's a common sense you even tell them, say, let's have a fit-for-service hospital, so if there's any emergency, we can rush quickly. The only thing we've had 4 heads of state who have died because we didn't have good healthcare service. 4 sitting heads of state in Ghana have died because they did not have quality healthcare service here in Ghana. And none of them has the sense, with the greatest of respect, to build a fit-for-service hospital that can take care of such emergencies. No one is thinking that way. Captain, it goes to show exactly what we are dealing with. Now let's look at employment. The National Security Strategy document from 2020, a Bayankasa Omu document, almost say they've identified unemployment as a national security threat. And any saying jurisdiction, or any saying country, once they've identified an issue which can have the potential to cause chaos, national chaos, or create political instability, your first thing is to commit all your resources to addressing those issues. And it's a national security prepared document. Almost say unemployment has become a national security threat. What has government done about it? And they think it's a joke, And now they don't understand what national security threat is. And see, every year we have a backlog of unemployed youth. And every year, you say, statistics show about 250,000 youth graduate from our tertiary universities, tertiary institutions every year. Less than 10% of that number get employment at every single time. And see, finally say, 10% of 250,000 will not have jobs every year. I mean, will have jobs if they're lucky, about less than 10%. In India, finally said 10%, which is about 25,000. And see, out of 250, you have just about 25,000 people getting jobs, which means you have over 200,000 every single year unemployed. Now, they've said, sir, that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And see, don't be surprised that you find crime and all of these things going up. Because so if you only a Juma here and you don't have money to be able to fend for yourself, what's your next resort? Crime. You see, and instead of addressing that solution, that situation, what they think is the best way to address it is say, I'm going to retool the security agencies. So spend monies to buy more equipment for the police to fight crime. Not understanding, say, address the root cause of crime, and then you solve the problem. Rather than go to retool, now, some armored cars, they didn't police, pickups, motorcycles. How much went into those? And are you telling me, sir, toothpick machine on Alibaba is about $12,500. We import 80 million Ghana cedis worth of toothpicks every year. Are you telling me, sir, those 100 motorcycles and now say those 47 armored vehicles that have been given to security services cannot buy those machines to employ the youth? It is every year we are able to save 80 million Ghana cedis from the importation of toothpicks, and we can produce them locally. Would therefore 10 million more youth to take care of their cost of production and their salaries. Now Muntia tax 8 million to Abai. Isn't this doable? But they'll rather give the police more weapons to be able to fight crime, ignoring the root cause of crime, which is unemployment. Captain, I'm telling you, these guys are very clueless. I don't know how, and I've said, they only know how to win elections and not how to run a nation. The information minister say he's uploading graphic because they've been able to digitize all their materials. And indeed, your vice president's been launching a whole campaign on digitalization of our economy, which is a good thing. But when we say, for anything to go digital, it cannot be done without internet or telecommunications. It's impossible, right? And see, how is it that you're building a whole super infrastructure on digitalization, but you do not have a national telecoms company? How does this make sense? And see, if today all the private telcos decide they're going out of operations, they're not going to operate today, what will government do with all their digitization? And this is a very serious national security threat issue, which I was thinking, sir, Captain, there'll be high premium placed on this issue so we can address it as soon as possible. But as if no one is even raising issues with this. It's nobody's business. Oh, all our telecoms are private owned. The state doesn't have any telecoms company wherever. And see, if you're building your economy or digitizing your economy, which is going to be on a private person's infrastructure or network, what happens the day that comes under attack or the person goes out of business and now anything happens? What happens to our national data that has been collated on the digital platforms? What happens? Captains, again, these people that we're dealing with know how to win elections and not how to run a nation. Because how is it that you don't see the essence of building roads and infrastructure until there's a by-election? Now, you see why we need votes. And now you see schools and now infrastructure, we need votes. I thought development was supposed to be everything okay. Mm-hmm. I thought development was supposed to be a scientific, well thought out process. And yes, they win votes. Yeah. But of course, because they only know how to win elections and not how to run a nation, this is what we are seeing. All right. But to wrap up, Captain, a call again to the youth. So see, I know we've gotten to a place where we have to take our national issues seriously. Into camera, right? It's about time, sir, we take our national issues very seriously. Put all partisan issues aside, and let's fight for the betterment of all Ghanaians and future generations. Captain, thank you.